What's up, Moxie? HomeWOD day number 58 going down today. All right, we have two cool pieces going on. First one is some metabolic conditioning called DART. It's going to be an interval style workout. And then after that, we have some Olympic weightlifting work that's going to really prioritize front squats and split jerks. Now, DART today has a lot less rest than what we've been training. It's going to be 5 rounds, 3 minutes of work, 1 minute of rest. The 3 minutes of work are going to start with a 200-meter run and 50 double unders. And then once we finish with those 50 double unders, we're going to accumulate max effort single arm dumbbell clusters in the time that we have remaining. This workout is going to be a leg burner for sure, all right? We have running, we have double unders. That's going to largely focus on our lower legs, so calves and feet, maybe a little bit of hamstrings on the run. And then our clusters are certainly going to tax the entire lower body. We're going to get a lot of quads from the squat. We're going to get some hamstrings from that initial hinge. It's going to be just kind of an all-around demolishing of our lower body. All right? Now there are a few things that we can think about here to hopefully keep us fresh for longer. First of all, we want to try to keep our run and our double unders at a sustainable pace. Since these don't count towards our total score, we don't necessarily need to go try and win those. 10 extra seconds just isn't going to make enough of a difference to really merit going full send on the run and the double unders. The second thing that we can do is try to keep our weight balanced whenever we're doing our clusters. And when I say weight balanced, I really mean weight balanced through our feet. We want to make sure that at the bottom of our squat, we're not shifting forward to our toes, not shifting forward to our toes as we stand, because once we do that, it's really going to put a lot of extra pressure on our quads and on our hips, and we're going to burn out that much faster. But conversely, we also don't want to shift too far back to our heels where maybe our toes or the balls of our feet are kind of coming off the ground, because that's going to put a lot of extra midline pressure, slow our reps down, and increase our time under tension. So we really want to stay balanced throughout that entire squatting movement. It's going to keep the reps just a little bit less expensive. Now, since this workout is going to be scored based on dumbbell clusters, we want to minimize the time that we're spending resting once we get there. So pace out those 200 meters, the 50 double unders, so that once you get to that dumbbell, you're ready to rock and roll for however long that might be. Most likely it's going to be between a minute and a minute and a half. So let's plan on no more than 1 break, and that break should be short. Keep the movement consistent on the dumbbell clusters and try to keep your reps consistent across the rounds. Your score is going to be the lowest number of dumbbell clusters you complete, so that is going to reward you if we can stay consistent across all these rounds. All right? Now, once we finish with DART, we have some Olympic weightlifting work today as well. All right? Now, it's going to be, as I said at the outset, front squat and split jerk focused. It's every 3 minutes for 4 sets, 1 power clean, 5 front squats, and 1 split jerk. We need to be thinking here not about the power clean so much today. It's going to be relatively light weights for a single on the power clean, so it's not really going to be the primary focus. But the front squats, especially after DART, are going to be a lot more challenging today. We're going to start at 65% of our 1 rep max. This is going to be a pretty tame first set, especially with all the training we've been doing with our Macho Man progression. However, this is a great opportunity for us to kind of dial in our squatting mechanics. If we imagine catching a heavy clean and my elbows might be maybe a little bit low, my upper back starts to round, we all know what that feels like. It's expensive to get out of the hole. The weight feels like it's crushing us as we're standing. We need to counteract that with our front squats today. We should be thinking about leading with the elbows on the way up, keeping that upper back extended just slightly throughout that entire movement, because first of all, it's going to make it easier for us to front squat, but second, it's going to allow us to generate a lot more power whenever we go into that split jerk. So we need to be thinking about elbow position on our front squats, especially since there's 5 of them. The other thing we want to be thinking about is what's happening with our feet on the split jerk. Now, I'm not going to go into a whole technique breakdown of what happens when we split jerk. That's beyond the scope of this video. But whenever we split jerk, a lot of the times we have a tendency to split jerk on a tightrope, where we start with maybe our feet about hip width apart, and we finish with our feet about hip width apart. If you just get into that split stance with your feet really close together, at least from a width perspective, it's difficult to balance. You feel like you can wobble from side to side really easily. And that's just not the best way to receive a heavy weight overhead. So today, whenever we're doing our split jerks, yes, we want to start with those feet relatively narrow, But whenever we get out into that split grip position, make sure that our feet have moved out to the side slightly, so that we're maybe at about a squat width or something like that. It's going to give us a lot more lateral stability. It's going to make it a lot easier to receive those heavy weights in a good position. Okay? I hope this stuff helps you guys. Get after these workouts today. Log those results on HomeWOD, and I will talk to you guys